most dangerous wounds are the ones that don't bleed. We often think only big shocks are powerful enough to break a person. But when it comes to mental health, things are rarely that loud. It doesn't collapse in a single day. It cracks slowly. A little bit of lost sleep, a little bit of sadness for no reason, a few canceled plans, a few messages left unanswered. By the time you notice, you're still alive, but you no longer truly feel like you are living. Welcome to a parallel world. Today we're going into the minds of people whose mental health is not okay, even though they themselves may not realize it. As you listen, gently notice how many of these signs you recognize in yourself. 8 signs. Your mental health is quietly asking for help. 1. A quiet sadness that never really leaves. This isn't the dramatic kind of sadness you see in movies, with tears streaming down and music swelling in the background. It's quieter than that. It's a subtle heaviness that follows you from morning to night. You wake up already tired of the day ahead. Good news arrives, but it doesn't feel as bright as it should. You still laugh at jokes, but the joy doesn't stay very long. You might scold yourself and think, I shouldn't feel this way. Nothing that bad is happening. But emotions don't always need a big event to exist. When you've been feeling empty, flat, or vaguely sad for weeks, it's a sign that your emotional system is under strain. This kind of sadness is dangerous precisely because it is so easy to normalize. You adapt to it, you function around it, you tell yourself this is just adulthood or stress, and then one day you realize you can't remember the last time you genuinely felt light. 2. You start avoiding people, even the ones you love. You don't suddenly hate people. You're just quietly exhausted by the idea of socializing. Messages come in and you think, I'll reply later, but you never do. The sound of your phone ringing makes your chest tighten. You find yourself canceling plans more often, or secretly hoping the other person will be the one to cancel first. This isn't simply introversion. It's what happens when connection itself begins to feel like a burden. You may fear being asked, how are you really? Because you don't know how to answer without either lying or falling apart. The irony is painful. The more your mental health is affected, the more you pull away, and the more you isolate, the worse you feel. Loneliness becomes both a symptom and a prison, and breaking out of it feels harder with each passing day. 3. Your emotions feel too much, or completely switched off. Unstable mental health often shows up through emotional extremes. You might find yourself crying easily and not fully understanding why. A small comment, a delayed reply, or a minor inconvenience can trigger a reaction that feels way too intense, filled with anger, defensiveness, or hurt. Anxiety starts showing up in tiny situations that never used to bother you. Or the opposite happens. You feel almost nothing. Things that should move you, a piece of good news, a touching story, an important milestone, barely graze your heart. You are present, but it feels as if you're standing behind a glass wall, watching your own life from the outside. Neither of these versions is a character flaw. They are signs of overloaded emotional circuits, old wounds being activated again, chronic stress slowly thinning your resilience, unresolved pain leaking into the present. When your feelings are either flooding you or completely frozen, your mind is sending a clear message. I'm overwhelmed. I need care, not judgment. 4. Life turns into a checklist, and you lose interest in what you once loved. One of the clearest signs that your mental health is struggling is when life quietly shifts from being lived to being managed. The things that used to bring you joy now feel pointless, heavy, or simply like too much effort. Hobbies that once lit you up become distant memories. You catch yourself scrolling aimlessly for hours, not because you enjoy it, but because you don't know what else to do with your numb, restless energy. You tell yourself, I'll go back to the things I love when I feel better, but better never seems to arrive. This is not laziness, it is a form of emotional burnout. Your brain is trying to conserve energy, switching from explore and enjoy mode into just survive today mode. When there is nothing you truly look forward to, not weekends, not passions, not even simple pleasures, something inside has dimmed. What you need is attention and kindness, not more pressure and guilt. 5. Sleep and appetite stop feeling natural. Your body is often the first to show what your mind is trying to hide. Nights become long and restless. You lie in bed exhausted, but your thoughts race in circles and refuse to quiet down. Or you sleep far more than usual, using sleep as a way to escape reality. Your relationship with food can shift as well. Some days you barely eat, forgetting meals or having no appetite at all. Other days you eat too much, using food as comfort against stress, anxiety, or emptiness. These changes are not just physical. Sleep and eating are deeply connected to emotional regulation and nervous system balance. When your mental health is affected, your body may go into survival mode, disrupting the very rhythms that once felt natural. If your nights are restless, your mornings are heavy, and food feels more like a coping mechanism than nourishment, your body may be saying what your voice hasn't yet been able to put into words. I'm not okay. 6. Your inner voice turns cruel and unforgiving. Everyone has an inner critic, but when your mental health declines, that inner voice can become brutally loud and harsh. It whispers and sometimes shouts messages like, "You're not good enough. You're so behind compared to everyone else. Nobody really likes you, they're just being polite. You always mess things up." Mistakes that deserve understanding are treated like unforgivable failures. You replay conversations in your head, analyzing every word you said, wondering if you sounded stupid or annoying. You apologize for existing too much, for needing too much, for not being better than you are. This relentless self-criticism slowly erodes your sense of worth, making it harder and harder to ask for help because you start to believe you don't deserve support. A harsh inner critic usually has a history. It often grows out of old environments where love was conditional, where mistakes were punished harshly, or where your feelings were ignored or belittled. When that critic takes over, it isn't proof that you are the problem. It's a sign that your nervous system is still stuck in old patterns of self-defense. 7. You live on autopilot, present in body, absent in spirit. Another subtle sign is when you are physically there, but emotionally absent. You move through your day like you're reading from a script. Wake up, work, scroll, sleep, repeat. Conversations feel shallow and forced, like you're playing a role instead of speaking from the heart. Your mind becomes foggy. You forget what you were about to do. You reread the same sentence multiple times. You stare at a screen, realizing you weren't really there for the last 10 minutes. This mental fog is not stupidity and not laziness. It's often a protective mechanism. When life feels too overwhelming or too meaningless, your mind numbs out to reduce the pain. You detach to survive. You drift through routines without really inhabiting them. If most of your days feel like you're just trying to get through them rather than actually living them, that's not a small thing. It's a sign that your inner world has been carrying something too heavy for too long. 8. You frequently fantasize about disappearing or starting over from zero. You may not be actively planning anything drastic, but there is a quiet, recurring wish inside you. What if I could just disappear for a while? What if I ran away to a place where nobody knows me? I wish I could pause my life and not deal with anything for a few months. These fantasies of escape are not childish or dramatic. They often reflect a deep exhaustion with your roles, responsibilities, and the pressure to hold everything together. Your mind is longing for rest, for boundaries, for a different way of existing, one where you don't have to constantly perform, prove, or endure. When the idea of vanishing or starting over somewhere else feels more comforting than staying where you are, it is a strong signal. Your current life setup, emotionally, relationally, or practically, is not sustainable for your mental health. 9. So, what do you do if you see yourself in these signs? If you recognized yourself in one or several of these signs, it doesn't mean you are broken. It means your mind and body have been whispering for a long time, and perhaps now those whispers have finally become loud enough for you to hear. The first step is simply to acknowledge what is happening without judging yourself for it. Instead of saying, "I'm so dramatic," try, "Something in me is hurting, and it's allowed to hurt." That shift alone is an act of kindness towards yourself. Then, consider reaching out to someone safe. It could be a friend who truly listens, a therapist, a support group, or even writing anonymously in a space where you feel seen. You don't have to reveal everything at once. Sometimes just saying, "I'm more tired inside than I look," is a powerful beginning. After that, return to the basics. Sleep, food, movement, sunlight, and small routines are not magical cures, but they are the soil your mental health grows in. Tiny, consistent acts of care for your body are also messages of care for your mind. You deserve to be looked after. Most importantly, allow yourself to need help. Struggling does not make you weak. Pretending you are fine until you collapse does not make you strong. Mental health rarely snaps in a single moment. It erodes slowly through ignored signals, silenced emotions, and the belief that everyone else is handling life better than me. If you are reading this and quietly thinking, "This is me," perhaps this is the moment to do something you've never really done before, to stand on your own side, even just a little. Your mind is not your enemy. It is the part of you that has been trying for years to keep you alive in conditions that were often too harsh. Noticing these 8 signs is not the end of the world. It can be the beginning of a different way of living inside it.